One of the hottest rivalries in UFC history surrounding the flyweight championship. Brandon Moreno, Deiveson Figueiredo, who's the champ again. A fourth round between these two. Ariel Helwani reports UFC possibly targeting July.
Fourth round.
So soon, so quick. I want to get your reaction. It's a guaranteed action fight.
Guaranteed.
It cements the two in the history books as linked together among the great. If the fourth one could be anywhere as good as 1 and 3, and 2 had its own shine but was largely one-sided, this could be in contention for the greatest rivalry of all time. Is there any reasons not to do this right now?
I don't think so. I mean, we do have, at the time we're recording this video, we do have Kai Kara-France taking on Askar Askarov. If Askarov wins that, he deserves the winner of this bout. But like, to me, before that, I don't know who would be the deserving guy we're passing over at this point. Okay, I realize that there's a little bit of debate about that, but for me, here's what I go back to. How many times when you head into how many times do you guys fight 4 times? Very rare. In UFC, it's basically unheard of. I think it is unheard of. And more to the point, BC, they are 1, 1, and 1. 1 win, 1 loss, 1 draw, and you have a 4th fight. Dude, I mean, if there was a contender at the top of this division that you just simply could not deny, and it would be shitty to take it away from, I understand the point. This is unique, fair enough, and historic. Action fight guaranteed. Askarov might get the winner. I don't see what the problem is.
UFC had a lot going on when Brandon Moreno defeated Figueiredo in the rematch. First one, a draw, fight of the year contender. Second one-way traffic from the first Mexican-born champion. And it looked like, given his age, given his excitement, given the elite level that Brandon Moreno made the leap to through these first 2 fights, they got a potential marketing boom with this guy. They still might, though, even though he just lost to Deiveson Figueiredo, who at age 34 did something that was maybe more impressive than people give him credit for, considering his age, considering having been finished in the second fight, comes back, wins the third one. They still can have their cake and eat it, too, because if this 4th one runs out, if it's anywhere as exciting as the first 3, if Moreno comes back out on top, people are only going to love and respect him even more. Mm-hmm. And now he's got a historic, dance partner. It just kind of like, I think if anyone deserves to crash this party, it's Askar Askarov. Could you talk me into the idea that maybe we're better served for both of these 2 fighters to fight somebody else in the meantime, and eventually, whether it's 2 fights from now or 2 years from now, we do that 4th fight just because it's there. But I think at the end of the day, I have to ask myself, if I'm Mick Maynard, Sean Shelby, Dana White, and I'm sitting in that room, Figueiredo not getting any younger. 3rd fight surprisingly great. Surprising result. The 4th one will be better off right now than it will be 2 fights from now or 2 years from now. I mean, there's just different circumstances that'll change what that'll mean and where these 2 guys might potentially be at. You lock that into any card you want, and what are we thinking? July, maybe International Fight Week? There was no specifics in terms of the dates or the site in which Ariel Helwani's report surrounded, but you made that an International Fight Week potential co-main event. It doesn't matter who's headlining. It doesn't matter. You know what, that card's going to be loaded, and now you have guaranteed fireworks. All right, you talked me into it.
It's not that hard. And the other part, too, is all 3 fights were action-packed, to your point, but all 3 a little bit different. It was back and forth in the first one with, I thought, Figueiredo leading a little bit, but obviously there were some circumstances that, where Moreno was having some good show. And then in the second fight, Moreno was just on fire. In the third fight, remember, Figueiredo got with Henry Cejudo and was still very strong, but wasn't this bull just constantly coming forward that he was in the first 2 fights, because he reined it in. Now, he was smarter about it. He's making the weight cuts easier than he had in previous times. He's just doing all the things. Obviously, he's not a champion by any accident, but Moreno is still so young. Again, there isn't quite at the moment that burning contender you just have to give it to. Cody Garbrandt could have been something, but obviously he lost against Kai Kara-France. So I'm just pointing out here, you know you're going to get action, but this story is you need to throw out the rules because everything here is so unique.
You need to
these
let
2 guys.
These 2 author and complete their story against one another.
What's your favorite
Whatever
4-fight?
Like.
I don't know, quadrilogy in boxing.
It's
is it
so
Pacquiao
rare,
and
right?
Marquez?
Pacquiao and Marquez for sure, because even if you ask yourself who else in modern history went the 4th time. Now, Vasquez and Marquez, which is Juan Manuel Marquez's younger brother, Rafael Marquez.
And then Israel Vasquez.
With Israel Vasquez. And, of course, Showtime televised their trilogy, which was amazing unto itself. And they did a 4th fight when both were kind of washed and there really wasn't a lot at stake.
They're not washed here.
We didn't know what else to do. So it's as if that 4th fight almost didn't happen. Now, historically, boxing in the 1940s, 50s, 60s, do we see guys fight each other 4, 5, 6 times? Yes. But that's just a different era, This has a chance because it's the first 4-timer in UFC history and really modern MMA history, unless I'm forgetting. Am I forgetting any ridiculous four meeting rivalry on this level? I'm not really sure.
I don't know.
You consider that all were title fights. You consider that if this fourth one's great, you could have 3 end up in fight of the year discussions by the end of it. I think that this will certainly crash the list of greatest rivalries, but I want to know which lane it's going to take, because most of the time when we talk about the UFC's greatest rivalries, it's more built upon the dislike and the tension. Think Daniel Cormier, John Jones. Think the one fight build to Rashad Evans and John Jones. Think
Tito and Chuck,
which a lot of those times those are title fights, and even Cormier, Stipe Miocic just for the royalty of a heavyweight title trilogy. But maybe Gray Maynard and Frankie is the best example of wasn't a lot of beef, but the fights were important and the fights were great.
Right.
Maybe this is more in line with that if that fourth fight delivers.
And dude, for the winner here, that could define their career. If Figueiredo holds on to the title, they'll be like, wow, look what this guy did to get his title back and hold it. Conversely, if you're Moreno, already the first Mexican UFC or Mexican national UFC champion, to get it back from a guy like Figueiredo after Figueiredo had solved for him in the last contest, these are going to have massive implications for how they're remembered.
And it's funny how, we did slightly criticize the UFC ahead of that third one, just like when Bob Arum, the Top Rank, made the fourth Pacquiao Marquez. We're like, customer fatigue. I don't know if we need that. I didn't know if we needed that third one. The third one was great. Now I think we kind of need a fourth one. I don't want to put a limit in terms of need. If we go 5, 6, 7, 8 times, if you fight forever, we'll be here watching. Morning Combat, Luke Thomas, Brian Campbell, thank you so much.